Good afternoon and welcome to Wellness from Within. Marie and myself, Jocelyn, we are here every month. We're going to bring you 2 half-hour shows to discuss how do you make yourself healthy? How do you hear yourself? How do you read what your body is telling you? This show today is going to be about back pain. But before I tell you exactly what Marie's going to dive into, I just want to tell you a few things about Marie if you haven't seen the first couple of shows. She's incredibly passionate about this topic, wellness from within. And she just you cannot contain her. She just wants to impart everything she has learned on her journey with all of us. And that is a truly humbling but exciting position to be in, because you're not afraid to share. You're not afraid to go against the norm, and not in a mean or nasty way, but because of what you've learned and all your different clients and what you've seen and based on your life and what you've gone through. So every one of these episodes is a do not miss. I am just telling you. We ask you to consider the subjects discussed, look inward, see if any of the content, anything that we're talking about, the subject, resonates with you. We believe, Marie believes, that we are all on this journey together. We are here to help each other be sounding boards, figure out what's the best for you. In the first half of the show, we talked about uniqueness and individuality, not to be afraid of acknowledging your limits and what works for you. So let's get busy. Let's embark on this adventure together, this part of the show. The Body Within Healing Community and back pain is our subject today. Welcome, welcome, and dive on in.
All right.
You want to focus on back pain and its types?
I do.
Okay.
I do. So there's many types of back pain, and back pain was not created equal. You could have low back pain. You could have upper back pain. You could have neck pain. You could have sciatica. A lot of people have had that, right? The nerve, because it's the longest nerve in the body. It goes from way in the back all the way down to your heel. Yeah, that one can be devastating to people. Scoliosis is the curvature of the spine. Stenosis. A lot of people as they age have stenosis, which is a narrowing of where the nerve comes through to talk to your limbs, and it gets calcified with arthritis.
Oh,
so
okay.
You don't stretch well, you get a lot of cramps. The best thing to do is make space. Make space.
Okay.
Anything with your back is making space, because we're so compressed, and that's why we shorten as we age, because everything starts to shrink. So we should all be thinking about lengthening all the time.
Interesting. So stretch. Stretch before you get in the car. Stretch when you get out of the car.
Right. There's all kinds of spondylosis, stenosis. There's all degenerative disc disease, compression fractures. Compression fractures are tough when women are osteoporosis or men are osteoporosis. You can just have a small fall. You can pick up something heavy, and what happens is the disc crunches because it's soft and mushy.
Okay.
You don't want to get there.
No.
And then they have to go in and inflate it and cement it, or you're crooked the whole time. So there's different ways. You can get referred pain from other parts that go to your back, like you had referred.
Correct, referred to my ear.
It's endless. Spondylosis is one I'm passionate about, again, because older people with osteoporosis, if they don't do the core strengthening and everything else, and they go to lift something, the vertebrae will slip. So now you see them standing like this. They're in that slippage state. How can you ever work out correctly if nothing's
When you're
lined
always
up?
tipped. Yeah.
That's a tough one. So they don't do much for it unless it's so bad that it's pinching on nerves, then they'll go in and cage it. So again, you want to avoid getting in any of these situations. And if you are in those situations, you want to make sure that you're always on a core stability program with somebody that can help you, whether it's a physical therapist that starts you off or you find a trainer that specializes in it. But you really got to get to know your body and make sure that you're managing these things.
Correct. And not just jump right into, oh, this is what we're going to do, when it may
Right.
be, as we talked about in the first show, not specifically for your body.
Right. And the most practical place to start for everyone is their feet. Feet are life.
And you walk on them for life.
You walk on them, but what people don't know is your feet have many little bones. And there's an arch that supports. When that arch is up, your hips are up. and they're even, and it helps the knees rotate. When those feet get stuck, you should be able to take your feet and open your toes, and then you should be able to balance on your feet in all different ways and pivot. If you can't, that's your stability and your balance as you age. And the more they get stuck, the more your knees are stuck, the more your hips are stuck, and the more your back is frozen.
Travels right up.
Right. A lot of people get one arch that drops versus the other. So here's a picture of somebody with a straight back and one with an arch that's off. And you can see how
You can
that
tell by the
chronic
lines.
pain. Right.
Yep. And the red dots showing you where it flares.
I know people with bulging discs, herniated discs, slip discs, neck pain, and I say just put some simple orthotics in your shoes and make sure you're not barefoot until you start rolling your feet and really strengthening your foot strengthening program. Okay. Never, especially in the summer because it's flip-flop season.
Correct.
But believe it or not, you can get a lot of flip-flops with arches in them.
Oh, yes, I do know there's a certain man that sells them on the TV.
There's
and
all
I actually
kinds.
just got, my mom just got some.
Even
and
the
I was
Birkenstocks
shocked.
have arches.
There you go. That's another one. Yeah.
But the key is, if you're in this situation when your feet are off, you don't want to be barefoot until you either stay in arches and you grow old that way, or you come up with a plan to correct them, because you can self-correct to a certain point, depending on what's going on.
All right.
But you don't want to leave your body that way, because even when you go to the gym, how are you doing your workout?
Lopsided. Overdeveloping one side.
Again, you're working harder, not smarter. Okay, my answer to that is my Posture for Life program. What it does is it makes you get here before you start working out like this. So if you do it before you work out, you'll be like this, and then you can hit the muscles correctly. Wow. All it does is realign.
Okay.
Temporarily, because if you're that crooked, it's going to go off. But at least puts you back in that situation, and it helps you to keep realigning so you're correcting.
Nice.
All
Okay.
right. So shoes are important. If you need professional orthotics, go. A lot of people don't. They just need to put them in temporarily and really start to strengthen their core, because the core has all those little nerve things that go down to the feet and pull the feet back up. So if you have a weak core, throw some orthotics in your shoes and just start really working your core.
Interesting.
And you can get yourself back to a certain good position.
Wow.
The next one is your mattress.
That thing we sleep on.
I've had people tell me 20 years old,
Oh.
you know. Yeah, I like the hole I sleep in. Yeah, you have to ask yourself and have an argument with yourself. Really find out if that is a part. Another thing people do when they have reflux is they sleep on piles of pillows. Yeah. And you're falling like this all night long. Your spine needs to drop when you sleep, relax, and then everything realign. When it's in all these weird cocked positions, it's never relaxing and healing. So make sure that you have a good mattress and you're lying flat and you're not sleeping on a pile of pillows. If you have reflux, put a wedge in. Wedge underneath the mattress or wedge on top, because then you'll still be on a flat surface.
Correct.
The spine can relax.
But not semi-sitting up.
Right.
Wow. I've often thought about that, and I've talked to people, oh yeah, I love my mattress, I'm not getting rid of my mattress. And I think, number one, it's really old and God only knows what dust is in there. That's where I start with. But when you talk about, you look at them, there's a big hole in there, so that means they're continually sleeping in this incorrect position.
And the hips are off, the knees are off, the ankles are off.
And the muscle memory.
And the body's never relaxing, because if you go to bed crooked and you sleep crooked, when does it ever get straight?
It doesn't, so you wake up
You know, I have a
crooked.
lot of elderly people that start sleeping in the recliner. That's the worst thing they can do, because the spine never relaxes, so the muscles develop in a C curve. So their C curve just keeps getting worse and worse because they're sleeping rounded.
Yeah.
I say, if you're going to sleep in the recliner, get on your bed a couple times a day and snow angel it. And start lengthening that back, getting those,
Again, making space.
because you're not using any of those back muscles when you're doing that. These are practical things that a doctor's never going to tell you.
No.
But we're doing them to ourselves at home all the time, and they're undermining us getting better. And they're undermining our aging, but we don't even think about it.
Whoa.
How about your favorite chair?
Oh, the one that has your bum imprint in it? That you do this in?
Yeah. Yep, because you like the way it feels until you go sit on a good one. You realize, oh my God, my chair isn't so good.
No.
My favorite is the work position, Okay, we're all computer addicts, Link, now doing this all day
Oh,
long.
leaning forward,
Yep. So then
the
you
head
get
jutting.
these extra strong muscles in one part of your back versus the other. You're compressed in the tailbone area and all that lumbar. Your thoracics are crooked, your neck is crooked, and you're not doing anything to correct it. Your core is really weak. That's a sign for bad aging, unhealthy aging. 30-somethings, I've had many 30-somethings tell me, I've just called them about, whether they're a computer guy I want to hire, something, oh yeah, my back kills me every day. I go, well, do you want to try? Nah, I won't do it. I'm like, you're crazy. If you do the posture for life at the end of the day and a few sit-ups after sitting all day, you'd be great. You're at least going to ward off the aging and stop yourself from getting arthritis at an early age. Because what happens is when you have this lean all day long, these muscles start to overdevelop. This muscle overdevelops. Now this arm isn't working correctly. Then you go to lift something over here and you slip a vertebrae in your back.
So everything is balance, 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 isn't it?
You have to bring yourself back and you have to pay attention.
It's, I was speaking with a chiropractor and we were talking about people that drive long distances. And he said, just setting up for failure. You've got to stretch before you get in.
Not only that, what happens to your right leg when you're driving? It's longer than your left the whole time.
Correct, because you're always pushing
so
on the pedal.
what happens to your hips?
So your hips go off.
Yep.
So get out a couple times.
So what
and
happens
make
to
sure
the
you
opposite
stretch.
shoulder? And then the neck.
Well, you just, the whole thing. You just become Quasimodo.
You do. You absolutely
You become
do.
the hunchback of Notre Dame.
So you get out, you stretch. Dr. Radio, actually, I don't know if they still do it, but once a month they had a thing for truckers because truckers are the most unhealthy people. And it's so hard on their bodies that they had people on there talking about things they could get out of the truck and do to try to move and get things going because they're at higher risk for blood clot, diabetes,
Correct.
heart disease, all of those things. Yep.
The things that we've just sort of shoved to the back of our heads, if at all, that are the things that should be in the front and that we deal with them every day.
And they're just little changes you can make in your life that are going to change the course of your life. How crazy is that? Literally changes the course of your life. Something simple.
And people don't want to do it.
They don't
They
want to do
won't
it.
even
They don't want to hear
contemplate
it. They
it. Yep.
don't want to know about it.
How
Yeah.
sad.
Lack of exercise in the 30-something category.
Couch
Yeah.
potatoes.
Yeah. What people don't know is you make your most bone. The body's designed to heal and repair up till about age 24, 25, I think it is. And people are going to question it and say, you're wrong. It's been a long time since I read my physiology book. But around that point, you make the most bone you have. Then you maintain your bone. So now you're a woman who never exercised. And you don't have great bone density, you go into menopause. As soon as that estrogen starts leaching out of your body, the bones start leaching calcium. So what you started with is dependent on how good your bones are that you end with. So someone like me who's been physical my whole life might have rock solid bones. So if I leach a little, okay, for a year.
Right. But if you don't have rock solid bones and you leach the estrogen, then that's when you get the osteoporosis, the crumbling.
Right. So that all starts in your 20s, in your teens. That doesn't start the osteoporosis in your 60s.
I've never heard anybody say that.
It's a lifelong thing. But we were always hunter-gatherers, so we were always so physical. We're not anymore. So even the men are in this position because they're not building their bone in their teen years anymore either.
True.
So
they're
they're
busy
putting
on their
themse-
video machines and
because
computers.
they're less physical.
So tell your kids to go outside and play like
It's
our
very
parents did.
important to build your bone before, all the early years.
That playing, that jumping, that chasing, the
It's
riding
really
bikes we all
important.
used to do. Your mom used to say, "Don't come home until the front porch comes on, light comes on."
Yep. Prolonged sitting. People have jobs that it's prolonged sitting. And then they go home and watch TV all night long. That's all compression of the spine. When are you opening? Because that's all the energy flow. Think about it. Okay. So you have all these vertebrae in your spine. See all those little vertebrae? Then there's all these nerves that feed your organs, feed your tissue, feed the blood flow to your brain, feed your lungs, detox your body, all of those things. So if the vertebrae are nice and open, like the chiropractors talk about, they wake up the nervous system and they just flood the body with all that good stuff. If they're compressed and you're not moving,
There's no signals.
Everything
there's
gets
no talking
stagnant
between them.
and gets less and less. So that's why you see people with heavier body fat in the middle, because they're not moving in there. Because think about it, when you walk and your arms swing, okay, what happens under your ribs?
What happens on your ribs?
Right here. What happens? Swing
It
your
moves.
arms. Right. So
It moves with the
so your
arms.
organs are being
getting
massaged.
correct.
And you're detoxing your body, you're helping yourself evacuate when you go to the bathroom, all those kinds of things. If you don't walk enough, the toxins build up.
And you go into lockdown.
Because it's your body's natural way to detox.
Oh my goodness.
So as your skeleton gets weaker, your arms come down here. What happens?
You're doing it from the elbow,
You're
so
not
therefore you're not
massaging
getting
the organs anymore.
Right.
The posture is so important to be upright, even when and it doesn't mean you should go out and walk and
Power walk, right.
because if you're not using your back, you're still not going to massage your organs.
And that means swing your arms.
But even if you swing your arms and you're already down here, it's not going to.
You're still not using them. So posture
Posture
and swing
is
your arms.
huge, huge. That's why I created Posture for Life, because it's just a simple thing people can do every day to make sure, no matter what these things are, you're going to you'll have a tool that you can self-correct. It's not the win-all, I'm not saying that,
Right.
but it's a self-correction tool that you can bring yourself back to balance, so then you can take your healing to the next step.
Interesting. Instead of working from behind the line,
Right.
and always trying to get back to normal, or what your normal.
So if you had a
spot
busy
is.
day and you sat too much and you were like this, just go do it, and now you're back upright. When you go work out, it's going to be more productive for you.
You're working out in
And you're going to sleep better. You're not going to be all crooked when you go to bed. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh man, you're connecting the dots of things that probably a lot of us have heard, been told, seen, read, whatever, but never really put two and two together.
Right. Right. So we're running out of time. So if we're going to create a toolbox,
Yes.
okay, my toolbox would be the Posture for Life every day and the meditation asking to see what I need to see. So it comes forward that what I need to do. And then you'll Google and you'll find some exercises that you like. You'll talk to friends and you're like, maybe I want to try that. You'll ask you'll start becoming more aware. The more you focus on it, your body's going to come forward and help you figure it out.
And then that leaves you open to different suggestions.
And then you want to create a program that's specific for your needs. And what I mean by that, the Just Be You. So I could tell everybody to go do core, but everybody thinks core is a sit-up and everybody hates sit-ups. Some people can't do sit-ups because of their neck or whatever. So plank is a good place to start, but some people can't do that if it's too hard on their shoulders. So it might be bridging. You need to find what works for you and your situation. If you have scoliosis, you want to start simple with the bridging and the pelvic tilt, and maybe ask your doctor to get to a physical therapist so they can start you on a program, and then you can progress from there. That way you understand how weak you are and what you need to self-correct. Because doctors will do that. People don't think, well, I don't have a real problem. Well, you do have a problem. You're very weak and you're unstable. You go see your doctor and say, I need somebody to help me stabilize. And they will send you. They will send you. But core and feet are the two ultimate things if you want to start correcting your back pain. Those would be the places I start. And walk, and walk some more. Because walking patterns the body, floods the nutrients through the system, detoxes the body, helps healthy tissue regenerate, all kinds of things, utilizes oxygen. So the more you walk and the more you move, the body is healthier. You know, a great way is when you're going up the stairs to just step hard and step up. Don't use the rail if you can. Yeah. When you get out of a chair, don't use the arms. Squeeze your abs tight, and when you sit down, go down slow. Go down slow.
Make every normal little thing a little more challenging to yourself.
And Pilates is a great way to lengthen the spine, lengthen the tissue, lengthen the legs, create more stability and mobility. Yoga is a great way. And again, with back pain, yoga, you have to start slow. You have to go into a beginner yoga. You have to see which ones you can do, which ones you can't. You know, good twisty ones. You know, I'm on Yoga International. I found that not too long ago. The thing is brilliant. It's like $20 a month, and you can do anything from 15 minutes to 90 minutes. There's hundreds of teachers on there. So And you can just type in foot, and then you get things to do for your feet. You can type in shoulders, and they give you stuff for your shoulders. You type in back pain, they'll give you stuff for that. It's got all kinds of cool things on there.
And you can do that in the privacy of your own room.
In your own home. And the teachers are all so different. You find the teacher you like.
And follow that.
I like the teachers so much, I'm going to see them in December and to learn from them.
Oh.
So I can learn more and bring in more information. So it's infinite. The other thing I did was on my website, marienodig.com. If you go on there under Wellness from Within, and that page all of a sudden is set up, and back pain and foot pain are the only two that are up and running yet. But if you go under back pain, it's every modality that I've seen that might impact your healing.
Okay.
So it can be anywhere from acupuncture to Pilates to chiropractic to yoga, but there's probably 60 of them.
Aquatherapy.
You know, we had talked to the emotional code person. Anything that impacts your healing, because it's not just physical always. It could be nutritional. It could be, so go on there, look through the list, and see what feels right. Investigate it.
What jumps
Don't
out
do
at
it because
you.
I said so. Don't do anything because I said so. Is it talking to you? Do you feel that's your direction? Because everybody's so unique. You got to find your direction, but you got to know there's a direction, because there's so many people. I'm on so many chronic pain websites, and everybody thinks there's nothing for them.
Yet
There's no
a
such
million
thing.
choices.
There's a million choices if you want to be open and listen to what your body needs. If you think you have to do it the way society says it, there's nothing.
Because you're in that box that you talked
if you're
about.
here, you don't fit in society anymore,
No.
because now you're chronic pain. So you have to figure it out. You have to.
And the answer isn't pills, and the answer is not running to the doctor all the time. It's
They don't have anything for you. They can't, because they can't look at you specifically at each individual segment and try to fix you. It's not designed that way. It's not that they don't want to. It's just the system is not designed that way. It's not. And then when you go the alternative route for chronic pain, unless you're doing the chiropractic or say acupuncture, you're not going to get much. Massage is great if you have back pain. Acupuncture can work really well if you work alongside it. Again, acupuncture is not designed to get you when you're that bad.
Correct.
It's supposed to help you balance your body and regroup. So
Correct.
you have to be part of the healing.
you have to be vested in yourself.
Right. So my goal is, as I add each modality, they're all on there. Like I have back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, chronic pain, even a grief section. As I build them, we'll put them on the show and we'll go through them.
I like it.
But
So
I want everybody to have a toolbox, because we all feel helpless, but we're not. And the only reason why you can't self-correct and have to age poorly is your choice.
and that encompasses many things, including your mattress, including your comfy chair or your comfy couch. That's very, very true.
I'll tell you a funny story. My aunt, I went to go see her, and her back was way out. Her sciatica was so bad. So I laid her on her bed, and I said, Matalent, let me help you. So I got everything to line back up, and as I'm doing it, my hand's going through the bottom of the mattress. And I said, how old is this? I got it when Chucky was born. I go, he's 70, 68? I go, that's a long time ago. Well, they made me sleep downstairs, so I'm on it, and I'm not buying a new mattress. I need my money. I mean, he was probably 58 maybe. I don't know, but it was old. It was really old.
Disintegrated.
Right. I said, well, I'm going to tell you something. If you continue to sleep on this mattress, you're going to be in a nursing home, because nobody's going to be able to get you out of this situation. So I tell her son that she needs a new mattress. She won't buy one. So I go back in. She goes, I'm not buying one. So it got to the point where I just said, nursing home or mattress, your choice. So I bring her to the mattress store finally. She concedes. And she wants the cheapest one in the store. I go, well, show her one that'll help her back, and then show her the cheapest one. Well, now she's mad because she likes the one that helps her back. So she buys it because I made her. She goes home and calls me and says she's not keeping it. It's too much money.
Oh my goodness.
I said, well, you can't take your money with you. And unless you want to be in a nursing home, you probably should consider keeping the mattress.
Right. Figure it out.
Yeah. And people do that all the time. She's not rare.
No.
They do
it's
that
the
with
same
shoes. I've had
food.
people
It's
with
just correct.
9-year-old shoes. They won't throw the sneakers away. But there's no support left for their feet and their back. And they're complaining their back hurts. But you can only do so much for somebody if they're not going to change what's causing the problem.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, it's us. It's not something the doctor can fix. It's something we need to look in the mirror for.
We need to not be afraid. We need to be bold.
We need to
step
want to
forward.
be part of our health because we've been programmed to thinking everything is a quick fix. And we're all heading to our demise. Like I said, most of the things that bog down the hospitals and the ERs are preventable because we've all gotten on this ride that we think we don't have to be part of the process.
Correct. And we need to stop the victim mentality, that we are part of the process. We can make changes. And when you've made all the changes humanly possible, step back and take a look. Is there one more thing I can do? Chaos breeds chaos. Balance breeds peace.
So what are you doing? What chaos are you creating in your body?
Oh, I like that. What chaos are you creating in your body? Yes, eating, bad mattress,
And if you
not
continue to
stretching.
create the chaos, it's going to create more chaos. And where is that chaos taking
Gonna end.
you?
Someplace that you like or someplace that you don't like. Awesome. Well, again, another great show. Marie Notig, KNOETIG.com.
Yep. And if you sign up for my mail list, you'll get notified when the new shows come out. You'll get notified when I get these pages up and running. Yeah, I'll do what I can to keep you in the loop.
I love it. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for spending your afternoon with Marie and I, and we will see you at the next show. Be healthy, wellness from within. It's your job. Take it seriously.